There it is.
Boom.
Hey, guys. God bless you. We do this every single Tuesday, except today isn't Tuesday. Today's Sunday because Tino is going out of town.
It's the Lord's Day.
He'll be gone for the next few days.
Taking off for the week.
Yeah. So because of that, we're here doing this. We apologize it's not live, but we're going to try to make it just as interactive, just as fun. I'm going to try, as this is playing live on Tuesday, I'm going to try to be on live on the comment. Maybe we could all possibly try. At least just jump in here and there if we can. And but that's it, guys. We got some subjects that we're going to talk about. Angel, you got the list of subjects we're going to be doing?
Yeah. Tino, you got the first one, the list, the title?
Just Texas and the Ten Commandments.
We're also going to talk about Texas, flooding in Texas. We also going to talk about the big BBB and a little bit of breakdown on that. University of Pennsylvania banishing men and women's sports and returning some very important trophies back. We wanted to talk about the ever-pending situation of Liver King and Zoran Mamdani. And also just wanted to share with you, for all those that are tracking to see who is happier, liberal or conservatives, the research that shows the gap between happiness between liberals and conservatives. One is happier than the other.
I'd never guessed that.
And what's weird is one of them's gay. And I don't know if they're happy.
I was going to say.
That's what that means, right?
Yeah. That's why I don't call them gays.
Because they're not happy?
No, because they walk in pride. Means they're not happy. They're falling.
So what are we going to start with?
I got this Ten Commandment thing.
Let's do it.
So my son came to me a couple days ago and was saying if I heard about what happened in Texas. And I said, nope, I'm trying to stay away from the news at this moment. I'm trying to give myself a day with no news. So he told me about the Ten Commandments, that they passed a bill saying that the Ten Commandments must be
On display?
Yeah, on display in public schools. And I'm looking around to see, because he told me that there was a size that they needed to be so big. So that way they can be seen, like not anything like super small, but they wanted it to be a nice
Bigger
size.
than a particular.
So every classroom.
Every classroom, yeah. And so then you go right here to Google it, and it says, yes, Texas has passed Senate Bill 10, SB 10, which requires the display of the Ten Commandments in public school classrooms. The bill was passed by the Texas legislature and signed into law by Governor Greg Abbott. It will go into effect on September 1st of this year. So almost, a little under 2 months.
Yeah.
So I think that's really good. I'm super happy that those are going back in. I don't know if I've ever said, but when I grew up, I went to a Catholic school. So, you grow up seeing those things. But it's very, very sad when I've seen everything they're doing to take God out of the public school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even my friends who grew up in public schools, and some of them who don't even have a relationship with God, they know what the Ten Commandments are because of what they had to see every day. So what you think about that?
It's kind of like, remember when Trump was talking about the possibility of purchasing TikTok and the government owning half of those rights?
Yeah.
And a lot of people were like, dude, that's great because free speech. But my concern is, okay, Trump, that's fine now, but what about later? And what other means, I guess, that would be my question, is if I don't have a problem, obviously, as far as with the Word of God being put back into schools. But my biggest thing is more looking at our culture, looking at our society, and this back and forth. What does that leave a loophole then for something else? That would be my question.
Yeah.
That's, as you said, that's the first thing that comes to my mind, which it's positive for us now. Will it be positive for us in 25 years? That would be my thought.
For me, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing, just like I like when they do Pledge of Allegiance.
Absolutely.
I got to believe the Word of God, that His word does not come back void, so that it's gonna if they're not hearing Bible at home, if they're not hearing Bible, then Lord, I mean, let this be a seed. You know, I think I see what you're saying is that it's scary because if we start bringing in that, then you'll get the Muslim that's going to want to do that. You know, if there's a Muslim president someday and wants to switch it to something else, and he can argue and say, well, if you put the Ten Commandments, see, here's exactly what's going to happen. I'm telling you right now. The moment they do that, they're going to say, well, then if we have that, then let's also put something for the Muslims. Let's also put something for, it kind of opened that. But at the same time, I don't think we shouldn't be afraid and just not put nothing. I do believe that it's a seed, and hopefully that seed gets planted in these kids as they see it. Whether they're going to read it or not, or just going to be posted in the corner in the classroom, that's another thing.
Right here it says SB 10 requires public schools to display the 10 Commandments anywhere clearly visible.
Okay, clearly visible.
The law requires the display to be framed or a poster and include the exact text of the 10 Commandments provided in the law without alternatives. It must also be at least 16 inches wide and 20 inches tall.
Yeah, it's a good.
It's nice. Plaque. Good plaque size. But like I was saying, I think if I was, let's say I was there and I had to vote, would I vote for it? Sure, I would.
Yeah, of course.
But in the back of my mind, that's my concern. That would be just knowing how
that
things
it opens it for others.
That it opens up for others. And I've had conversations with people bringing up, even in that same state, the community trying to be formed over in Plano. You know, with as far as it just being an Islamic community.
Yeah.
And people say, well, you know, Islam could be illegal as far as Sharia law. Sharia law is not legal within our Constitution.
Right.
And I get that, and I agree. But yet, how is it still a legislative battle then?
Right.
Yeah.
So we can have that argument on the outside, and I hear this from all kinds of. It's against. They don't know the Constitution. Okay, that's all fine and dandy, but you need to go explain that over there where they're passing laws because they don't seem to understand that.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that's what me and him were, my son and I were talking about. I said, I think that's pretty interesting because there's a lot of stuff that's going on over there in Texas that us over here don't know about. Yeah. And it's coming out because people are bragging about it all over social media, like you said, about Sharia law. And that's exactly where I went with it. I said, because, there's these certain Muslims who are over there trying to get into the government and saying this and trying to pass this for them to build that neighborhood. And that in that neighborhood, they'll pay extra taxes so that way you have to abide by Sharia law.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait a minute, dude, that doesn't even make sense. He was like, my son said, like, not that he was in agreement with it, but he said, like, what's the big deal? I said, then everything that they follow can go exactly against state law because that's their own law. And it goes on from there. Yeah. And I know without a doubt, people are going to give me crap about that right now, about what I just said. But in all of what I'm trying to tell my son is like, that's not good. This is the land under one God, and that's our God. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you said, the Pledge of Allegiance. And so,
well, let me ask you guys just on that. What is your feel or your thought about government telling us or passing rights, religious rights of it to be one form over another?
What do you mean?
In other words, this state is going to worship God. This local government, this government agency, state agency. Mm-hmm. Just asking a question. How do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about a local government and agency implementing theological laws or doctrinal laws like that within government?
No. I mean, that's the whole reason that there's separation from church and state. I know nowadays a lot of people say that it's to keep the church out of government. No, it was meant to keep the government out of the church. Mm-hmm. So I don't want laws that laws aren't going to get you into heaven.
Yeah.
It's not laws that's going to get you in heaven. It's having a relationship with Christ. Because then you're going to have denominational arguments. Because then it's like, oh no, the city leader wants us to follow Pentecostal or wants to follow Presbyterian.
What if Florida is Pentecostal? What if Texas is Southern Baptist? What if Tennessee is Methodist?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
What are your thoughts?
Real quick, I looked up Sharia law, kind of an overview. And it says one of them is divine guidance. Sharia is believed to be God's revealed law for Muslims, providing a path to live in accordance to his will. It addresses a wide range of issues from personal religious practices like prayer and fasting to legal matters. Let's see. There's no single universally accepted interpretation of Sharia. So it can be what anybody wants.
Anything you make it.
Yeah, different schools of thought and legal traditions within Islam have developed their own approaches to interpreting and applying its principles.
Same thing in Christianity.
Not simply a legal system, Sharia is more than just a legal framework. It's a moral and ethical compass that guides Muslims in all aspects of life.
It's their moral, though.
So Sharia law could probably be very mild, or it can be extreme to the point where if you were caught in adultery, then they'll stone you to death in the middle of the downtown street. That doesn't mix with the laws of America. You can't have that law within laws. It just doesn't work.
Oil and water, man.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to bring that up. I thought that was pretty good. For me as a believer and a follower, most importantly, I think that's really good. Any way that we can get God back into the classroom.
Yeah.
Because you know what, man? I'm sick and tired of all these people's opinions about my God to get him out. And the government has folded over and bent over and allowed him to go away. But what about people like myself who want my children to feel comfortable knowing who God is? Not comfortable, but you get what I'm saying? Let's not try to fool ourselves, man. If a young teenager's life, they're not walking around with the boldness and the confidence in Jesus Christ the way we are. You know what I mean? Because they're going against the world. Now, I'm not saying for them to coward or anything like that, and I'm not saying that all kids are like that. But if they saw some commandments,
Yeah, because think about it. Our kids up to now, let's say the last 5-6 years, they've seen rainbow flags, they've seen trans flags, they've seen BLM flags. They've seen everything but anything of God.
Yeah, very true. So
and look what the generation is right now.
So hopefully, God willing, man, it starts a domino effect, man, and more states start to come around and start to put more of. I remember again, even walking into public school classrooms and seeing the Our Father prayer. You know what I mean? So it's just like those kind of things.
So
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say when I think I mentioned to you one time there was a job interview, or there was a church looking to hire a youth pastor in Palo Alto.
I remember you mentioned something.
Yeah, and Deanna showed me, and I laughed, and I was like, they're liberal, right? And then I kind of felt convicted, like I just made that statement without even, look, just because of Palo Alto.
Passed judgment.
Yeah, I just passed judgment, and I went on the website, a few minutes later, and I was like, I was actually very impressed. I said, man, dude, their positions, where they're standing at, and it's showing photos of kids and young people, young couples, one woman, one man, actual couple.
What kind of church?
I don't know what it was a non-denominational church.
Oh, I see.
In Palo Alto. They're baptizing, they're out there doing outreach. I felt really convicted of the fact that I just threw them under that umbrella, right? And it reminded me of something we had talked about when you go to these states in the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
Like Texas. And you have this, it's like football is their religion, right? And so everyone goes to church.
Yeah.
And so you have these states that pass some of these laws. How spiritual is it? I'm just asking a question. I'm just throwing this out there for conversation.
I've had this conversation with a Texan.
Yeah.
In Texas.
Compared to, let's say, areas like in Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon, California, even New York, where the church is not giving ground up as far as their positions, and they're standing their ground. What does that look like? What is that? And our laws are not in our favor by any stretch or any means.
Brother Julio, who's the one that got me into the prisons over there, he's the one that we talked about last week.
Yeah.
That they put him in a deportation thing because he's a Marine. Anyways, he was talking about, because he attends a really great church. I met the pastor's wife, great people, but they're all Texan, and they kind of they know Julio's from Cali because he's from here originally. And they'll kind of give him some flack about, California Christians, whatever.
Yeah.
And he one time he told them straight up, he's like, you know what? He goes, I believe that if revival comes to America, it's going to start in California. And they're like, what do you mean? We're Texas, we're the Bible Belt, this and that, whatever. And he goes, man, over here, you guys go to bars, you get drunk, you do this and that, but you're the first ones there in Sunday service worshiping God. He goes, in California, if you're serving God, you ain't doing none of that stuff, man. He goes, you're really serving God, and you have opposition all around you. He goes, revival's going to come from there. He goes, because that's where the soldiers are being built. He goes, people in California that have everything against them, but they're serving God. Mm-hmm. You know, so, yeah, I think that's true, you know, that we can, I think California has its issues, has its problems, but if you choose to serve God in the atmosphere we're in Cali, there's a higher chance that you're going to be for real. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying all the time. I know some lukewarm Christians, you
Absolutely.
know, but yeah.
No, but I get it, man. And also, he's not the first one I've ever heard say about revival in America will start in California.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah, I mean, we're totally behind the 8 ball, as they say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think we're in the perfect place for a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's all I got about that, man. I just want to bring that up
right.
and make sure I got to share it.
Amen. You know, speaking about classrooms and whatnot, we just had 4th of July. We didn't even ask, like, how was your 4th of July?
Mine was very, very, it was really, really nice. It was Mickey and myself all day. And we hit 4 different locations. We went, we hung out, we ate a whole lot of food that day. And
You would have thunk it was Thanksgiving.
yeah. Yeah, man. And it was really good. I know Mickey and myself, we started off that day at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I hit legs that day because I knew I was going to be eating a lot of food. So, and we started the day off at 6 o'clock in the morning. We got home probably about 1:45 in the morning.
Wow.
Wow.
What about you guys?
Well, I mean, we can see that Bucky had a great time for 4th of July. He's still dressed out to the nines in his patriotic gear there.
America.
Me and Sharon had a great time. We went to the Rochelle's and hung out there. And at one point, the fireworks were just, it sounded like a thunderstorm for about an hour straight. And I leaned back and I said, I closed my eyes. I think Sharon's next to me. Abraham was there. And I'm like, the sound of freedom. That sounds like America. And it just sounded like thunder. You just heard it everywhere. You know, it was fun. I had a lot of fun. A lot of food.
Yeah. No, I was with Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
And so we went and just got some food, picked up food, just chilled out there with Mom and Dad, and the boys came and let Ezra run around, and I changed my oil at Dad's house. And
oh, man, I need to change my oil.
just chilled and relaxed till probably, 7, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Went home, and then it sounded like we were in the middle of Afghanistan and Iraq.
It sounded like America.
So we left the Rochelle's, and then a friend of mine hit me up, and so we ended up meeting them out in Turlock. And so we were driving down the freeway, and it was just pew, boom, boom. It was like a big old light show, man. It was a pretty nice drive all the way to. It was a nice drive, man.
But Justin, you got that video ready? I had him get it ready.
What's he gonna be playing?
That video. Yeah, show it.
Oh, man.
It's Tino's favorite.
Yep, I knew you were going to do that as soon as I heard him say it, dude. Turn this thing off. Oh, and I can hear it here, too.
Want me to mute the mics?
Yeah.
It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop, and his 18th birthday birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a lie. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on the front line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, pay the ultimate price. Oh. He was the man of the house when he was born. His family is proud but torn. But if you knew him, you would understand. He was raised on how to be brave, just to see the flag still wave. And then he came home with only one hand. 'Cause Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down here to lie. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on these front lines. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, he'll pay the ultimate price. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. March in line, march in line.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, I'm not much of a country guy myself. Actually, I'm not a country person at all.
All right, Justin.
I kind of, you know what happened on 4th of July was I typed in,
Yeah, because you sent it to me.
I wrote
What's us?
most patriotic song. I just typed it on YouTube just to see what would pop up because we had just heard,
AI builder you need to meet.
we were listening to Bruce Springsteen.
Born in the USA.
Yeah. We bumped that. I was just messing around with Sharon, you know, because we had took off to go do some errands and to get the stuff for the spread. And I was like, check this out, you know, and I put it on. And then I typed in most patriotic song just to see.
Yeah.
And this one was number 1.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But it was 10 years old.
Oh, it's not new.
No.
Oh, I'd never even heard of it.
Yeah.
Even I knew that.
Did you?
Yeah, because I got some other people who think it's funny to send me country songs.
Oh.
So
So I was just like, man, this song's tight. And I'm not even a country at all. Like
No,
I don't like country, but you know, and notice like it didn't have like that hard twang.
Yeah. No, I you know, I like Hootie and the Blowfish.
What?
that's not the same thing.
They're country.
I like James Brown. Anyways, yeah, but Angel had said, man, we should play it on the episode. So sure, let's do it.
Tino
Yeah.
backed it up with 2 thumbs up. But staying on Texas
Yeah.
and you know, understanding because this is Sunday that we're recording, and so was it Thursday night into Friday?
Yeah.
A heavy rainstorm hit, and from my understanding, in 45 minutes, it filled a 26-foot deep, dry ravine
Yeah.
and overflowed and just absolute destruction. Justin, if you can show some photos of footage and don't share my video yet of what I sent to you. Just some area or a map or something of the area because it's just outside of San Antonio, north of Houston.
Yes, it's San Antonio north.
Is it north of San Antonio?
North of San Antonio, yeah.
Okay. Do you have that? As of, I don't know if that's changed. I think 34 have been pronounced dead.
I have
Yeah.
some things right now that it talks about. You want me to talk about
Yeah,
that now?
yeah, go ahead. He's still looking for it.
So
Oh, what's that? He found it. Oh, so it's north,
Yeah,
north,
north of San
northeast, northwest of San Antonio, which is crazy because in a few days I'll be
Yeah.
in San Antonio.
Yeah, because that goes right through like New Braunfels, San Marcos.
Well, that's way more.
Yeah, but that river.
Oh yeah, the river dam.
The river
the
does.
Guadalupe River.
Yep.
Oh, that's the one that's overflowing.
I guess.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
Up to 20 to 26 feet on the Guadalupe River near Kerrville, leading widespread damage and washing out roads. Dozens killed. The death toll, and this is from, let me see, I apologize, July 6th. What's the date today? Oh, this is today at about 2 o'clock. The death
Central.
toll,
Central Standard Time.
yeah. The death toll rose to 79 across 6 counties.
Wow.
Gosh.
Today in Kerr County, officials reported 68 deaths. Those of 40 adults and 28 children. 11 children are still missing from Camp Mystic. The major disaster declaration, President Trump announced he had signed a major disaster declaration for Kerr County. The declaration allows first responders to have access to the resources they need as they continue to work and search on recovery efforts.
Yeah. So I think the death, it's going to keep climbing. Oh, did you? I'm sorry. Go ahead. What is this? Wow. It's going to keep climbing. The thing is, they can't declare missing people yet. You know what I mean? Because what if they find them? They were finding people in trees.
And do you guys hear the test?
Dead?
Huh?
Dead?
No, like
no.
on a tree, like waiting for rescue.
Have you guys heard the news where their parents of children that got rescued are telling the story of how they got out?
No.
Have you haven't heard that?
No.
Justin, play that video.
I came on air, and we're going to hear these stories more and more from parents
So this was
who
a day
text
ago.
me they were bringing their little girl who was spared home.
Is that the
and
one
they
in
asked her
Michigan?
what happened. And I'm not using any names, but she said they were awakened, and the water was at the door. The camp counselor took a rock and smashed out the window. They climbed out the window in bare feet and nothing but a nightgown on, in neck-high water. They walked through the water. They got to another position where there was some dry land. Then they moved to another position. She said, I don't know how we made it. She had her name on the back of her clothes she was wearing, but she wasn't even in her own clothes at the time. And so these little girls and these camp counselors, you're going to hear heroic story after heroic story. These camp counselors are teenagers themselves for the most part. And they eventually got to higher ground where a helicopter came and rescued them. We have a story of a 27-year-old young man in one of the houses along the riverbank. He saved his mother, and I believe it was his aunt or grandmother, but he was swept away. There was heroism yesterday everywhere. And these camp counselors, again, 750 girls in this camp. And we have 27 missing, and we're not going to give up looking for them. We're not going to give up looking for them. And we're all in, and we're praying for these families.
Thank you.
Wow. I had sent some pictures. Did you get them? So I was talking to our cousin Anthony this morning. He lives in Seguin, where I will be at in a week, in a few days. And he sent me his backyard yesterday. There's 3 pictures. Just show the first one, and then we'll go to the second and third. So I sent them to the Periclitos. It didn't go? Okay.
Yeah, because Mom said she was talking to.
Huh? Send it again? Oh.
Sometimes it lags for some
Yeah.
reason, but yeah, she said that she was talking to Theo Juan yesterday and said that it was raining really, really bad yesterday.
Yeah.
What do you think's going on? Like, this is Texas, where
I mean, it's in
typically,
the middle of summer.
well, yeah, I mean, typically this kind of stuff doesn't happen over in Texas. I mean, in all my life, I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this or heard anything like this about Texas. South Lake Tahoe, they went underwater a few weeks ago.
I heard.
Oh, really?
You know, big old storm, crazy
Yeah,
weather.
I didn't know that. I know
this-
flash floods are normal for Arizona, parts of Nevada.
No, Central Texas too, San Antonio.
Yeah. I know San Antonio floods during winter,
like this.
but I've never heard of
Not like
nothing
that.
in the summer.
I was
I
gonna say,
don't know.
like, this is what I'm
yeah.
talking
This is
about.
flash floods.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, dude, there was crazy weather in Tahoe where it's not typically.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they
Yeah, I heard about
snow and they get that kind of stuff, but this wasn't that. This was pretty wild. This was devastating. So,
Yeah. Did they go through?
what's going on with the
Really?
world?
Well, I know that I watched some of the press conferences, of the area and different
Yeah.
things, and they were saying, and some of the citizens, as much as some were obviously, you're in the middle of grieving, you're in the middle of all of this other stuff, but there was some people standing up, even reporters, saying, we have been asking the state, we have been telling them for flood sirens. We have been asking you guys for, all of these things because it's not.
What's the number? Did you send a match thing?
And no, just that, it said we have been asking for these things, and we haven't gotten these things because it's not a non-occurrence.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if they're referring to like wintertime or summertime or how that works or what, or if it doesn't matter. It's just we have floods that come, that come through. And so I know on a political scale, that's some of the things they were asking. They were pushing back and they were upset. But at the same time, more of it was just grieving to get information in the moment. But they did say, hey, we will address that. It's just right now, can we get through helping these people, and finding them right now, and then, table that for another conversation. But apparently, yeah, there is a lot of flooding in that area. But I don't know if it's during this time of season or not.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't think it is.
Because Arizona has flash floods during the summer because the monsoon hits harder in the summer.
Yeah.
In the winter, it's mild.
My understanding is the ground is so dry that the water doesn't get a chance to permeate into the ground, so it just turns into a flash flood. That's my understanding.
Yeah, same thing with Arizona.
Yeah.
Like the Santa Cruz River, I remember there was a guy that I was friends with. He was motorcycling through one of the dry creeks.
Yeah.
And they heard a rumbling. That's how fast it comes down. Because you're 4,000 feet up in Nogales, and when you start going down the Santa Cruz River dry creek bed down south, that water's running down.
I was watching this YouTube video, and it showed a flash flood start. And it starts very innocently. Like somebody was filming it, just like this little trickle of water. I mean, within minutes, it became a raging river. That was crazy, because I was like, what is a flash flood? How do you not know when a flood's coming? And it was just following it, like this little trickle of water. And you just go, and it's just a horizon. Like,
well, there's parts of the Santa Cruz River that goes underground. So some of it's not like you can see it.
yeah.
There hit certain points, it's above, and then it'll go below.
Oh, I
and then
see.
it's hitting these other streams.
So you don't see it.
You don't see it, and then the Gulf comes through, and it all meets in a place. But he said they were riding, and they heard a rumbling.
Wow.
And they turned around, and they see this wall of water coming in, and actually they got caught in it.
Watch, I wonder if I
Flooded
can
their
find the
engines, flipped their vehicle. Nobody was hurt. It came through and passed, but it wasn't sustaining water where it stayed like that, where it's just continuous. I got it. You got it?
video. My pictures? Okay, go ahead. So this is so if can you get close to, watch, zoom in? Is there a way, or if you can't, you can't? Okay, now go up where the bike is, above the bike on that top. Yeah, look at that. Go closer.
How it's
Okay, see, it's like a waterfall.
like it's streaming over.
Yeah, see that right there?
Yeah,
That's crazy rain.
yeah. This
This was
That's Central Texas.
This was yesterday. Do the next one. Same thing. That's the front of the house. I've been to Texas, man. It don't rain. It pours. It's like giant drops.
it's just-
and the next picture.
It's a bunch of fists just punching you.
on the ground.
Yeah, there's the backyard again. It's just insane rain.
Just
So the Guadalupe River does go through Seguin or next to it.
I don't know if that's the name of the river, but I know that there's a huge river that goes right through it.
Yeah.
Because New Braunfels and San Marcos through there. I don't know the name of the river.
Yeah, because I messaged him. I was like, hey, cousin, I'm going to be over there. I want to see you. And he goes, well, bring a boat.
Bring boots and bring a boat.
Yeah.
But no, man, when I was watching that video on the kids, and I'm thinking of like youth camps that we've done in Tahoe and and stuff, and it's just like I can't even, you waking up to water in your cabin. And they're right, because it was a kids camp. I don't know if it's a Christian camp or what it was. Was it a Christian camp?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and so you've got older teenagers at least one in each cabin.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because they're like the chaperones.
yeah, the chaperones, giving back. Those kids that came through whatever, if it's a church, that ministry, now they're helping back to the younger kids. And you have to be the life support to get these kids out.
Oh, Jesus Lord. That'd be crazy.
And many of them did. And apparently some didn't make it.
Wow. I was looking for a specific video, but I don't know where it's at.
This real quick says the White House is pushing back against criticism that the National Weather Service was not properly staffed after some Texas officials said forecasts underestimated the amount of rain before the flooding. Critics have blamed recent cuts by Trump's administration for affecting officials' ability to properly warn residents in Texas about incoming flood conditions and subsequent response to flooding. Abigail Jackson, a White House spokesman, told NBC News the accusations were disgusting lies to target political opponents. False claims about the NWS have been repeatedly debunked by meteorologists, experts, and other public reporting, Jackson said. The NWS did their job, even issuing a flood watch more than 12 hours in advance. Man, you can do all of the flooding watching, and you can have all the alarms, and you can have everything that goes on. Water is the most powerful thing here that God has placed on this planet.
I know, right?
And that water is going to do whatever that water wants to do. There's nothing that is going to stop that water. I don't care about your alarms. I don't care about your sounds.
Nothing will stop it.
Nothing. No. Absolutely. It's not going to stop until it's ready to stop. Basically, until God says, okay, that's enough. And so, but I mean, it's really, really great, especially in certain places of the world where flooding is so common that they're able to stop it a little bit, or warn people a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, you have the infrastructure for it, sort of, I guess.
Sort of. But once it goes through, man, you ain't stopping it, man. I'm sorry.
But there's only we could blame Trump. We could blame the governor. We could blame...
You can blame everybody.
All of those things. But how do you prepare for something that's never happened?
Yeah.
I get it. Like, okay, we have drainage. Why? For the typical rain that we have.
Yeah.
And so we, get the leaves out of the way to make sure that our drainage system works properly. And it's for the normal, and even maybe it's sometimes above normal situations that happen. And even when that happens, we get sides of the road that are flooded. Be careful, all those different things. But how do you prepare for something like that just naturally you just haven't, you don't anticipate? How do you anticipate that?
So now they have this, right? Now, unfortunately, this has happened in Texas. Now they're going to put things into play, right? You think that if hopefully this never happens again in their lives, right? In our life, whatever. Do you think it's going to stop?
No, it's not going to stop the water. It does. You can't.
And how much time are you going to, like you said, it starts off with basically pouring up a water bottle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then within minutes, it's raging. So, how much advance and what are you going to do? So as soon as you see a certain part of water coming through in a place that it shouldn't, your alarm goes off and hurry up and get out?
But you guys remember that situation where there was I don't know. There was a message that it was going to Hawaii. There was a nuclear bomb heading to Hawaii. This was several years ago.
I don't remember.
And I don't remember what year it happened, but somebody caught a signal and in the military, local defense system, that there was a bomb heading towards Hawaii.
I don't remember that.
And it was the computer that was wrong.
Oh, really?
Oh my God!
And they put the sirens, and he reacted.
That's horrible.
Skynet
from the technology of what they had, and it said something was coming.
Well, I didn't know that.
And I don't remember if one person died or two people died, whatever.
From escaping?
Trying to.
I'm surprised there's no some type of what do they call
a bunker
sensor to sense water. I don't know.
I don't know.
But did you get that video, Justin?
You have one?
I just sent one. It shows how a flash flood's starting.
Oh, okay.
And we could talk over it because I don't think there's sound.
Yeah. But no, just my point is, if you put people in charge, sometimes people react too quick, and nothing was coming.
Yeah.
That wasn't a natural disaster. That was a bomb. But computers make mistakes. People make mistakes.
That's
Yeah, it's like I think it's an Instagram video. You got it? All right.
Yeah, and I always have to send it twice.
Really?
Yeah, there's always a lag
Wonder
time.
why. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
We need somebody to smash that like button. Help us with our internet.
You got it?
Okay.
You can play. You don't have to, because we could talk over it, but it's just showing an example, a smaller example
Yeah.
of just how. Is there a way to go a little closer? That's it. That's fine. Just let it play. We could just talk over it. So I mean, you can clearly see this.
is there water moving on that right now?
No,
Am I
not
tripping?
yet. It's just a dry bed. It's just a dry creek.
Yeah.
And it's in real time. It's not a time lapse. You can hear it though, huh?
Okay, yeah. Okay.
You can hear it. See it?
Oh, there it is.
Like out of nowhere.
Like
So
the
that's
dude
when
gets up, like, whoa.
Yeah. And it just gets stronger and stronger.
So when you see something like that, the alarm goes off. Siren?
Yeah, like you would think. That's what's crazy too. It's not just water. This stuff will hit you.
It's wood.
It's debris.
It'll stab you. It'll.
Oh, it takes everything.
Yeah.
It says you aren't powerful to me. It says get over here.
Look at that, dude.
Damn.
It was just dry. Like what, 30 seconds ago?
That dude is crazy for still standing there.
And that's probably just the beginning.
Yeah.
Imagine that hitting your city
Well, that's what they said.
and you're asleep.
That hit for 45 minutes and filled a 26-foot deep dry ravine.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
what it said.
That's wild.
20 to 26 feet. Yeah.
What else are we talking about?
Well, I guess from there we can go to a lighter note,
We're going to the triple B.
or that, or we can go to Liver King.
Oh,
That's
all
still in
this man.
Texas.
That's all this man.
Technically, that's still in Texas. That's in Austin.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the one.
I guess we ain't done
Hold
yet.
on.
No. Check this out. This is the one I was looking for.
Let's go back.
This is.
But let's pray for those families too, man. Gosh, that's
Absolutely.
horrible.
Let me know when it comes through, okay?
Absolutely. If you're not understanding, no matter what we are saying about the alarms, no matter what we are saying about preparation or anything like that, this is the opportunity that you get to have to pray for those families.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Go ahead and play it if you get it.
Unfortunately for those people, they've lost their children. There's 11 children missing.
Gosh.
Don't forget to pray for these families, man.
Look how dry that ground is. Now, this is not Texas, guys. This is just an example of how slowly this thing could start. Now, imagine this at midnight when your family's asleep.
Yeah.
It is a silent killer. And you have no idea this thing is creeping. Look, it just looks like, oh, let me go play in that, right?
How thick that mud is, though.
The strength of it.
But you would think, like right there, it's like, that ain't scary. I could run across that. But look at that. You don't even know where it's heading. Like the city, wherever. Get out of the way. Look at those guys in the street.
The water doesn't even know where it's heading.
No.
You know what's crazy about that is that we see a rainbow.
Yeah.
Well, it gets worse. This is insane to watch. Like, this is something, I know some states are used to this, I guess. Here in Cali, we ain't used to no flash floods.
Incredible.
It keeps going.
Yeah, they build the roads in southern Arizona for
Really?
flash floods.
What does that mean?
Well, they'll keep they'll keep the natural ravines, and they'll keep there's even if you're landscaping and grading things, it has to stay within the natural grade of it to keep the natural flow of the water.
Yeah.
So
Look at
so they know where to build and where not to.
That was that little thing we saw. That could kill you right there.
Dude, that was yeah.
That'll take your car. That'll take you.
That'll take a tree.
Yeah. That'll take the Liver King.
And if it stays in there, he'll take them all the way to Liverpool.
Yeah. To Bo joking.
Both Joe.
But look at that, dude. Seriously.
Are you talking about the guy whose name starts with a J and his last name is Rogan?
And it sounds like Hogan.
Yeah. So I just wanted to
that's
give
sad.
that example, man. That's wild.
No, but seriously, I know we joke around everything sometimes, but That's just sad. That's
Sometimes
just,
it's joke or cry. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, they're truly, families devastated
Yes.
right now. Another thing that we didn't talk about was this horrible explosion that happened here.
yeah.
With it was a fireworks.
Fireworks warehouse.
Oh, yeah. In
and,
YOLO.
Yeah,
Yolo
and there's a brother from CWC. I know who he is now. I realize I know who he is. So condolences to him,
Yeah.
to his entire family.
Oh,
I know
7.
he's a close friend of Tomas's.
7 lost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all those 7. But one of the 7 was this brother. He just posted pictures. I'm the dad. I'm friends with him on Facebook, and he was showing. He goes, I thank God because his son showed him getting baptized, showed him in the church, showed him serving the Lord. You know, and this young man lost his life in complete.
Deanna knew.
Condolences to
I don't
all
know
of
if she
them.
knew the parents.
Yeah.
Or
They're in
some,
Manteca.
some yeah, yeah. And then there was some. I don't know if they're still on. I didn't listen to it, but I've heard that there's some video of firefighters as they're trying to pour water in, and they can only get so close.
Yeah.
But that the firefighters reported that they could hear the screaming.
No.
No.
Is there any?
They could only get
I
so
was
close.
saying, you have the video of it exploding?
Oh, you got it? They said it looked like a
Look at
mushroom.
that. Wow. That's a firework. Look at California fireworks storage. Yeah, look at that thing go. Boom. And then the fireworks. See all the fireworks?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the flashes
So
everywhere.
I saw on TikTok the day that happened, right?
Yeah.
And I thought it was a joke. I thought it was somebody AI'd it because it was close to 4th of July.
Look at that. It's just all this.
And all of that stuff, dude. And then the next day I went to my barber and the news was talking about it. I go, hey, man, that was real?
Oh, you thought it was fake?
I thought it was an AI, dude. I thought it was like, oh, 4th of July. They're making it this and that, whatever. And then I started obviously doing my research. And then I was like, oh, my goodness, man. Yeah, like you said, 7 people is the last I heard.
3 brothers. One
really?
one of them, that was his first day at work.
My question
Anything?
is.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were talking first.
I was just going to say, do we know how that started?
That's my question. Like, even watching that explosion, I mean, fireworks don't all explode at the same exact time. That was a major explosion at first.
Yeah, where was that burning at before it
Yeah,
did
you know
that?
what I'm saying? Like, I get the sparklers going. I get that.
And
But
then-
what
and then
caused
leading
that
to more and more and
mushroom?
more and more, yeah.
What caused that one big giant mushroom to explode at once? Like, how did that happen? You know,
I haven't heard anything.
those families, a lot of the families, the parents and stuff, were like down the street a mile, and they're not leaving because they're like, why are they not going in? Why are they not going in? You know, and they were saying it wasn't safe to go because the fireworks continue to explode, and it was just horrible, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah, because it's an ongoing, it's not just a bomb. It's ongoing bombs and bombs and bombs in the form of fireworks.
Yeah.
And that just, but that was when you and I talked, that was the first thing was like, where did this start? And again, you know, try not to be on always the conspiracy theory side of things, but right before the 4th of July.
Well, that's when there's fireworks.
Exactly. And how many cities canceled? Lodi canceled.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Lodi canceled.
I didn't know. that.
There was a number of cities that canceled.
Yeah.
Because, well, first, just because that was their fireworks. They didn't get them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and just breaking down that celebration.
Well, that's my
of the
other
4th.
question. Were they fireworks like the ones that get sold, or were they the fireworks for the city? You know, the big mortars.
Like their shows.
The mortars.
The fireworks
They're just
shows,
like
yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those things.
I would imagine they produce both. If you're there producing it, you probably have the line of,
Were they making it there? Or was it a warehouse?
I don't know.
Or do they get made here? Are they made in America? I don't know much about
I don't know.
other
I don't
than
know.
yeah,
I don't know nothing about fireworks to be honest.
yeah, other than lighting them, and that's it. So that's horrible, though, man.
Yes.
We
Again,
wanted to
sorry.
just yeah,
Yeah. Go ahead.
we just wanted to give condolences.
Yeah, sorry for them too and their families and but the 3 sons.
Yeah,
Somebody lost 3 sons,
wow.
and one of, like I said, they said one of them, it was his first day at work.
Yeah, his first day.
Tío Juan,
Dang, that dude was probably so jazzed He was probably telling everybody, and everybody was probably jamming him up, like, see what you can get. Let me get this. I'll buy some off of you.
yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa. He was probably all
I wonder
jazzed.
if it was negligence on somebody or negligence on the company.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. Something's got to come out.
Yeah. What happened?
Something happened.
Well, it's hard. How do you investigate when the whole thing burned down? Like, it's weird, but anyways.
One of the, it's a Theo, it's not our Theo, but it's a Tristan, the brother that we're not directly connected to.
Yeah.
Juan,
Yeah. Okay.
his neighbor was their son.
Oh, really?
Passed away also.
They were all young.
Yeah.
Really young.
Yeah.
Like 18, 19, 20. All of them were really young.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The ones who,
Yeah.
yeah.
The 7?
Yeah. That's what I'm reading right here.
Yeah.
Darn it. Where did it go? Darn it. You had already said everything, so I had just left it to go. 18 years old, Jesus Ramos. First day on the job, like you guys said. I don't know how to say this name. Honi Ramos, 22. And Junior Melendez is 28. 18, said her boyfriend and his 2 brothers were missing.
It's crazy.
So, yeah.
That's so sad, man.
18, 22, and 28 are the ones
Yeah.
that this article here talks about.
Yeah.
This is off CBS News, so I don't see any reason to have a conspiracy here. So,
Yeah. But something happened.
Yeah.
unfortunately,
I mean, you mess with fireworks, they're dangerous.
Oh,
They are.
absolutely.
They're dangerous. Like, it ain't no joke, man, when you have these little stands and somebody's smoking them, like in the parking lot. Like, hey.
You see idiots smoking at like gas stations?
Yeah, I see that all the time.
It's like, what's wrong with you, dude?
As they're pumping gas. Those fumes are going up.
Yeah.
Like right there.
unfortunately, man, I was that idiot that has.
You
done
you were that guy?
that. Yeah, I was that guy.
Why? Did you say
We got raised by the same mama.
Hey, man, the funny thing is the face and the question was all on time. Because, man, when you're twisted, bro, you really don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting right there drinking my beer, smoking a cigarette,
pumping gas?
pumping gas.
Feeling brave.
I'm feeling nothing.
That's one of those commercials of why do
This is your
women
brain on
outlive
drugs.
men?
Oh,
Have you seen the different videos?
No.
It just shows guys just doing really dumb stuff.
That would be one of them.
Yeah. What else we got?
One Liver King,
Liver
real quick.
King.
We'll hit this one real quick because that's still
you,
in
David.
Texas.
I had no idea who Liver King was until about a week ago.
Yeah, me too.
But apparently he's this really buffed guy that
With a really gross Audi belly button. I seen
Yeah.
one of those pictures.
so he
Like, what's
you
wrong
guys
with you?
probably know more about him than I do, but basically he was a YouTuber or something or Instagram, all of them, all the platforms, and he claimed that he got buffed by eating organs,
Raw meat.
raw meat, liver.
liver is king.
Yeah, and then he would
And other organs lower.
yeah.
And
then
testicles.
And then he would had these supplements, and he made millions of dollars with his supplements because this guy was in his 40s and he was just buff, like he looked like a superhero. And come to find out, he was using $11,000 of steroids. He got exposed. He got exposed on Joe Rogan, and basically he got angry and said he's going to fight Joe Rogan.
But it wasn't even Joe Rogan's reported investigation.
No.
Yeah, it was the dates guy.
Yeah.
Can you bring up Liver King? Just find a
There's a
crazy
picture.
picture on him.
An influencer who
Just a picture. You know what? He blew up during right out of COVID. So,
Oh, okay.
everything,
Oh, really?
Yeah. Right out of COVID is whenever he was doing his thing. And, I mean, he like I said, man, everybody was...
Okay, there he is, the Liver King.
Yeah. Then he would wear like a
He
wolf
looks-
hat.
Is there any video or picture of him? Oh, there it is, eating a piece of liver.
Right there. Look
there.
at that one with the big old...
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is there a way
that's
to blow
the
that
picture.
up or no? Yeah, there it is. What kind of liver is that? T-Rex?
I have no idea, man.
Like-
Is that a whale?
Like seriously, who has a liver that big? And
looks
how can
like-
somebody not be that thin and still have a six-pack?
He looks like Kai the hiker.
Dude, that's an 8-pack.
Oh man, dude, yeah, I remember when he was doing his thing, man, all over social, and
His belly
a lot of
button's
his
normal.
stuff is fun. So it was fun to watch.
Yeah,
man,
I
'cause
bet. It's entertaining. But
yeah,
look at
it
his
was
belly
very-
button's normal there. Because when he threatened Joe Rogan,
Yeah,
he
it was
looks all-
hella out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with
it's a
it?
It's
hernia.
probably a hernia.
Oh.
Do you have him
You should see some of the things that he would do for
with
a
2
workout.
guns threatening Joe Rogan? Can you bring that up?
That's the one I seen. Yeah. And I was
Yeah.
like, what's wrong with this dude?
With,
Yeah,
with
it's
like a
probably a
wolf,
hernia.
like a wearing a wolf?
yeah. You know what I thought of?
And
Is
he's
the
like
dude
this.
that,
Yeah.
the January 6th guy. That's what I thought. That had the buffalo ears or horns.
Oh, yeah. I thought that's who it was at first.
Me
I'm like,
too.
oh, he got out of prison all buff.
I was like, why does he want to fight Rogan?
No, man.
That
Look at
dude.
it.
Oh, man, it's not showing his belly button.
King
That looked crazy.
arrested in Texas today after posting
kinda see it
threats
through.
directed at Joe Rogan. Police arrested
I think I
him
got that
after
crazy
learning he
photo
was
of
planning
Joe.
to travel to
I mean,
Austin.
He is a comedian.
Rogan
Low
told police
Hogan.
he and the
Low Brogan.
Bo Rogan.
He is a comedian. We can't forget
Who, Joe
about
Rogan?
We can't forget
Yeah.
about Joe, man. His whole before he's anything else, he's a stand-up comedian.
Well, here's the thing, right, guys?
He's funny.
He said he was going to fight Joe Rogan, said it was a match. He started selling merchandise,
Yeah.
showing his face versus Joe Rogan, started selling that, and was making his way to Texas, went to Austin, where Joe Rogan is at, and FBI arrests him. He gets arrested by the FBI. They release him in a couple of days with an ankle bracelet, and they told him you cannot say Joe Rogan on any social media at all. So that was kind of the thing. He had to stay 200 feet away and cannot say Joe Rogan on platforms. So he went on saying he's in a fight Bo Rogan. No, Bo Jogan, or just like he was.
He said his first name starts with a J and his last name is Rogan.
Yeah.
Man, you got to give him credit, man. You know what I mean?
That's going to be an interesting thing to watch unfold.
But talk about somebody that's just trying to get clicks to get back in there.
Yeah, it's working.
I don't even think he's trying to get clicks. I think he is really upset because, like, you don't see him anymore. And then ever since he got caught, he came out with that apology video. Like, that was the end of it. And now all he is just a meme. He's somebody to make fun of. So all of what he was doing.
Beat it for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't think that it's for clicks? Because then he would have went after the other dude that actually exposed him.
I mean, okay, I guess yes. I'm not going to argue with you that it's not, but I think he's really upset at the same
Oh, I agree.
time.
Really
You know what I
busted
mean?
up his gravy train.
Yeah. His millions went bye-bye. Where in today's
absolutely.
life, there's so many like bodybuilders themselves who are like, yeah, man. So this, as a matter of fact, I was watching a bodybuilder influencer, right? And I was watching a routine he was doing with some arms, like different exercises to do with some arms, right? La 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 la. But anyways, Mickey says, do you think he's on juice? I said, absolutely he's on juice. There is no doubt whatsoever. And within like 2 minutes of the video, it was like an 11-minute video. And within 2 minutes after Mickey says, he started talking about, look, man, if you're not trying to do this, this is the juice that you want to use. You can go ahead and you can take the pills. But if you're really trying to get jacked and this and that, you want to use this, this, and this, so that way you can get into injections. And blah, 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 blah. This is what I do. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because look at Liver King. Liver King over here was lying out of his teeth about it. And there was no way you look like that not taking juice.
Yeah.
So then, and nowadays, man, they like these bodybuilders, a lot of them influencers are saying like, you can do this, you can do this. And because they're not injecting and they're taking pills, now it's okay.
Wasn't it like illegal?
Yeah.
It is.
Is it still?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's illegal.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know
anymore.
either.
I don't know.
Let me see.
anymore.
I ain't buff, so I wouldn't
Because
know.
I've heard more and more. Like I understand, like if you're in the NFL, NBA,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Well, that's not allowed. That doesn't
It's not
make
allowed.
it illegal.
that's my point. That's what I hear. I don't hear that being illegal.
I don't know.
It's been a while.
I don't know.
What's coming up?
Let's see. In California, is steroids illegal in California? In California, Steroids are illegal to possess,
If you're straight.
use, or distribute without a valid prescription from a licensed physician. So basically, it's like weed.
Oh, so
If
if
you
you
don't-
got money, you can get it, basically.
No, if a physician licensed
Yeah.
you, so if you can go ahead, just like weed.
Yeah.
If you can go ahead and get your little
Yeah.
ID, what is it called? Is it a license? Not a license.
don't know.
It's called a cannabis card. That's
No.
what it is. If you can get a cannabis card, man, you can go ahead and you can purchase weed.
I don't think you even need that anymore in California.
Yeah, I don't know. So, but
Yeah, I don't think
basically,
so.
it's illegal. Here's why: the associated legal framework, controlled substance, prescription requirements, steroids are legally. Oh, so you know what this is telling me, dude? This is going by those legal steroids. You know how some doctors are saying?
Oh, yeah.
That's probably what this is telling me.
Yeah,
So,
Like we would get a allergy, which is a steroid.
Yeah. So is inhalers.
Yeah.
So is a nebulizer. Uses
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called. Those are steroids. Open up your
Anabolic
lungs.
Steroids Control Act of 1990. Steroids are classified as a Schedule III drug with federal penalties of both.
Oh, so it's illegal.
Okay.
So those are up to $1,000 fine.
Ooh, okay.
Oh.
Well, let's jump on the Justin. Put up what I sent to you about the liberal conservatives real quick. This shouldn't last too long. It was I sent it to you, emailed it.
Yeah.
This is from on the top. It should open up as a chat GBT. Are you a lion?
I know. What's he doing?
The funny thing is I was thinking right now in my head, we're talking about drugs, and over here, people are gonna think I'm on drugs myself.
Oh man.
What is the
Oh,
topic?
you know what? I sent it to your phone to ask the question.
What is the topic?
You know what's funny about the steroids thing is, you know how like you have the women bodybuilders.
Type in the question.
There's a lot of women that see women bodybuilders and they don't want to lift weights because they're like, I don't want to be like that.
Oh, and I know.
And
My
it's like
wife
you,
was like
and
that.
I'm like, you can't be like that. You can't get like that normally.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of women won't hit weights. They want to do the cardio. They
Yeah.
want to do the whatever.
Mickey,
you know.
Mickey literally told me, she's like, I don't want to do that. When she first started working out with me, she said, I don't want to curl that much. I said, why not? She was like, because I don't want to look all buff like a man. I said, dude, you know what? If you can curl that and in 1 week look buff like a dude, you're quitting your job tomorrow and we're putting you into bodybuilding. We're gonna make millions.
Or the circus.
Heck yeah, dude. They take all kinds of hormone pills and all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff.
Well, while he's getting it up there.
What's the topic called?
Oh, here it is. It's called The Happiness Gap Between Liberals and Conservatives. It was a research published by Social Psychological and Personality Science or Journal Research. They put this out, and what it was a comparison in all these different areas between liberals and conservatives.
Yeah.
And
About who's happier.
who's happier? Men, women, young adults, older adults, income levels, low income, high income, religious, non-religious, married, unmarried. So, for instance, men, liberal, low, they rated very low happiness. Conservatives, as far as just overall, higher.
Yeah.
Women, same thing. It's funny because 100%. The liberal ranked lower in every category of joy or happiness in their life. Wow. Of marriage, even income.
You know what's weird about that is a lot of times liberals, on first impression, seem happier, but it's a mask that quickly dissolves because the fuse is very short.
Yep.
Have you noticed that? It is the weirdest thing. They will be the most pleasant. Oh my God, it's so nice to meet you. Blah. But the moment they know that you believe in God or you believe in America or whatever, it's like, oh man, it's like Heck on Jekyll.
Here's
It's
what
a trip.
Here's what ChatGPT said. It's just possible reasons researchers suggest. Okay.
Damn, this is crazy.
Conservative often report greater life meaning, personal agency, and optimism. to the conservative.
The future looks bright.
Yes. Conservatives are more likely to emphasize tradition, community, faith, which are all linked to greater well-being. Liberals may focus more on perceived injustices and societal problems, which could correlate with lower reported happiness. Because their core values are different.
Yeah, yeah.
Their center is just different. And when you go down the list of every age category, they said when they could. I seen it on the article. You didn't find it, Justin? Oh, well, I seen it on the article. It said that a low-income conservative of $30,000, an annual income of $30,000 or more,
Yeah.
had a higher percentage of happiness than somebody. You had to reach the 100,000 plus in income of a liberal that even gets close to that level. In other words, even if you got money, you're still not very happy.
Yeah.
Compared to somebody that has conservative morals and low income, their optimism is still greater than somebody that is liberal with money. Just across the board. And think about it. How many liberals have you come across that actually genuinely seem happy, have great marriages, great relationships? Their kids don't cuss back at them.
Yeah. It's sad, actually, to be honest with you. There's this, it's almost like, let me act joyful because I feel no joy. Because have you ever noticed when somebody truly doesn't have joy, they overdo it to the point where it seems fake?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just being joyful.
Yeah.
Satisfied with your life. Everybody's life can be better. Everybody can have a little bit more money. Everybody's house can be a little bigger. Everybody's car can be a little bit newer. But ultimately, man, do you enjoy life?
Yeah.
And just not mad at everything. And it's just crazy. Can you imagine being mad like 4th of July, for instance, coming up and just being angry about it?
Yeah.
And not only angry that you don't celebrate, but you're angry that everybody, you want everybody to be mad. You want everybody to hate Christopher Columbus. You want everybody to hate, it doesn't just...
It doesn't end.
It doesn't end, And here's the difference, right? There are things people do that I don't like, but I don't care. I don't stress on it. I'm just doing me. I'm not on Kwanzaa Day or whatever. I'm not mad. I don't even remember. It's, you know what I mean? Or
I'm only upset at things like that when they interfere with me.
Exactly. That's my point.
That's it.
That's my
What
point.
do you mean?
This is a stupid example, right? But chewing, right? I don't care that you chew with your mouth open, right? And sound like a animal, a dog, right? And I don't necessarily mean you. Yeah. I don't care that you do that in the privacy of your home. But when you're sitting right here doing that to me, or doing that to me, but doing that, that concerns me, bro. Why do I need to listen to you?
What about ordering oatmeal by you?
So Felix, right?
Oh, man. I didn't throw your name out, bro.
Oh, I did. This dude slurps like he's like a 6-year-old little boy, bro. You're a grown man, dude. Drink your drink. So anyways, it's stuff like that. That's what I'm getting at. So I don't care what you do. I don't care if you hate America. I don't care if you hate this. I don't care if you hate that. I mean, I didn't like Joe Biden. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't like Sleepy Joe. But you know what I'm saying, dude? Like, when we had those conversations, somebody else brought it up. I left it all alone.
Yeah.
You brought that up. Now, okay, you opened up the door. But this is crazy, bro. I've never even paid attention ever to this kind of stuff, dude. This is crazy. Explaining the general link between liberalism and the mental illness or disorder. It is possible that the genetics and biology could explain much of the observed relationship between liberal identification and mental illness. After all, there's a robust evidence that individuals' political and moral disposition are biology-based and heritage to significant degree. psychological dispositions and disorders are also significantly influenced by genes and biology. They too are quite heritable. Alternatively, there could be a direct and casual. For instance, there is some evidence that children who are maladjusted, angry, aggressive, otherwise antisocial are more likely aligned themselves with left-wing parties as adults. So these people that when you grow up angry and aggressive and you grow up with all these self-made problems in your life, right? Not everybody is like that because unfortunately some people, the adult took advantage of the youth and they grew up in that type of way. But as they grow up, they see like, oh, look, that's that misery loves misery stuff, huh?
Yeah.
That's what that is. And so it's just crazy, man. Like that, like you said, I don't care. Go live your life, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dude, you like Diddy? Go over there. That's cool. I don't.
Take that.
Well, you know, one of the reasons why that stuck out to me was we were talking about the firefighters last week. And there's more information is coming out about the young man that had to do with. I haven't caught up with that.
Scoped ones.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so they were trying to. I think it was his. I believe it was him. If I remember right, because I was driving, so sometimes I come across these videos when I'm going through it. I don't have time to write something down, but I believe that was it was the sniper with the firefighters, if I remember correctly. And originally, people were trying to post him that he had MAGA family. Like he was a MAGA, come from MAGA. Then it showed a post of his mother.
That makes no sense.
And it had a post of his mother with her boyfriend that had MAGA hats, Make America Great Again, and all this stuff. But if you go on his Twitter account and you go on his Instagram, he ain't no MAGA dressed like that.
Yeah.
Ain't no MAGA talk like that.
Oh, yeah.
And so he was living a very different type of life, very sad and very just kind of disconnected. And so he was mad that at the fire department he couldn't get in.
Oh, he was trying to get in.
He had tried to get in. Allegedly, he had tried to get in. What are you finding are you finding something?
No. No, I'm listening to what you're saying. It's so crazy because obviously, dude, everything has to be a race bait.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so they're trying to say that. However, the gap in the mental health is not purely something that manifests among whites. Non-white liberals are also significantly more likely to report mental illness than non-white moderate or conservatives of any stripe. In fact, there are reasons to suspect that certain strains of liberal ideology may exert uniquely effects among women and people of color. And then there's a graph here of like bars and this and that, and then it has non-white and white, and the ones who are going through the struggle are non-white people.
As far as the struggle of
just
mental
a mental illness in this little category right here is what they're talking about, and the gap of, but they're liberals.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've never paid. So as you're talking, I'm listening, and I'm like, oh my gosh, bro, like this is crazy. Like I know what I'm reading later.
Yeah, because I watched another article from someone. They were talking about the race riots in L.A. and all this stuff. I didn't catch this until somebody said he said he was the guy that was standing on the top of the car without his shirt with the Mexican flag and everything else. He said if you focused in on tight enough, that dude's got his nails painted. He goes, he goes, tell me what illegal immigrants are coming over here with nails that are painted, that are black.
I'm going to look that up.
Right? And so he starts, kind of going through all this stuff. And what he's talking about is just that moral fiber of tradition of so many people that whether they're Democrat or Republican, that's not what we're talking about. Just to have some type of moral fiber and conservatism as far as to tradition. Even in the church that we're baptizing. And I said, what would be really cool is if next month when we do baptism, we passed out 50 old hymnals that have to do with baptism songs to remind our kids of the songs that we heard when we were younger. Because tradition means something. It's not sacred in that sense, but it is important. And the thing is with a lot of the liberals, there's no they want to erase history. There is no tradition.
He's wearing gloves. Is that the main one, or is there a different one?
I don't know.
That's not the main one.
No.
There's another one.
That looks.
That looks
It was a
AI.
nighttime
Done
one.
up.
Yeah, that looks AI'd.
I'll show you the video. I'll look it up and send you the video. But he said if you go in I didn't see it, but on the video he was talking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as that goes, man, I told you,
Yeah.
I said that before, bro. That's more criminal than anything else.
Oh, absolutely.
And I mean, it's just, it's sad, bro. It really, 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 really is, man, as far as what the media is able to do in people's mind. I know, like, my children, I have one child, my second child, who is very, very, like, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, and here's the proof. And I said, man, that's on the phone. And he was just like, what's that mean? This is live. I said, yeah, I don't believe that either. So it's just like, and he's starting to understand a lot of it, you know what I mean? It's all media manipulation and how they can go ahead and, why are they talking like that? Because that's what they want you.
That's their angle.
They want you. See how mad you are? He's like, yeah. I said, it's working. I said, why doesn't it bother me? Because I don't listen to that kind of stuff. Here, read this article. And I'll give him an article. And
You're like,
this and
I
that.
ain't in the Matrix, man.
Yeah, dude. Like, here, read this. And it's just like, well, where'd you get this? Well, I got it from a different place that likes to tell a lot of truth. It talks about everything. So.
What were we talking about, Justin, yesterday? Remember we went to the store and I told him, I said, you hear this article and they're here.
Perfect.
You hear this article and they're here. Mm-hmm. So let's put these two stories together and let's go right in the middle and go, okay, where does that hit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where does that hit? If this one's saying, we're talking about Iran and Israel and all this other stuff. Okay, this is saying this is saying this. I got Christian media saying that Iran's killing people that are trying to bring in food and they're killing their own people on their own on their side. And the other side is saying this. And I said, okay, so now let's go right in the middle.
Yep.
And because you're gonna, it's clickbait, it's views. It's all of those things.
It's very, very crazy because, over here it's all about, oh, man, don't protest don't protest for illegal immigrants to be, to get out. You know what I'm saying? Oh, let's protest for them to go ahead and stay here, this and that, whatever. But you don't show any other country who's protesting against their illegal immigrants being in there, in their country, and they want them out.
Yeah.
How come you're not showing any of that? Media manipulation. 2 + 2 is 4. But in today's life, dude, there's morons out there that are saying that now that answer is racist.
Yeah, math is racist.
Math is racist. And if you can go ahead and push that agenda, that's what it is. Which leads into, you mind if I go into the next
right
one?
ahead.
Justin, you got that video that I sent? This leads perfect. This is media manipulation at its finest right here.
One of the saddest days in modern American history. This is the largest.
It's not coming
This
through.
is the largest
It's not coming.
withdrawal and ending of healthcare in American history. 17 million people in our country, 17 million Americans in our country are going to lose their Medicaid. They're going to lose their ACA insurance. Small business owners are going to have their healthcare costs skyrocket, and people are going to have their SNAP and WIC cut back. People are going to go hungry. People are going to get sick on a scale unlike anything we've ever seen. And all of it is just to finance tax cuts for billionaires and the wealthiest corporations who don't even need it. I don't think I don't think we have ever seen or are prepared for how catastrophic this is set to be for a lot of people. And I think it's devastating. And they're talking about this as though it's some tax cut. Even the stuff that they're talking about, taxes on tips, no tax on tips, that's only for people, that's only up to $25,000. And if you're making less than that, you're already kind of exempt from a lot of these things in the first place. So they're giving people crumbs and they're taking away the whole loaf. And it's just a genuinely really sad day for our country.
What about Leader Jeff?
You can turn it off, man. I'm tired of listening here.
Anybody got Pepto-Bismol? I'm getting nauseous here.
See what I'm saying? Media manipulation, man. And I mean, if you do just a little bit of research, man, it's not about the big picture. It is about the big picture. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I misspoke. It is about the big picture. But in order to get to the big picture, man, you need to take small little steps. And that's what the BBB is all about. You know what I mean? It's about small little steps to go
Yeah.
ahead and push us forward. Let's go ahead and get this economy back into action. And these people, the biggest thing that they cry about is billionaires. You know what I mean? There's a big old thing on the Benny Show. You guys know the Benny Show?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Benny Show did this 15-minute video on that female right there talking about how she's Jenny from the block from Brooklyn, right? And this and that, whatever. And she likes to walk around talking about how she's a Bronx. I'm from the Bronx. I'm from the Bronx. You grew up in Yorktown, man. Nice place, you know what I mean? You're like Clarence from 8 Mile, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He has real good
Clarence.
parents, you know what I mean? That's AOC, and she's over here talking about this and talking about that. You can't trust this female. But if you look at the bill is about, like, yes, I bet you those people who are not being taxed on their tips, I bet you they're not mad like she's mad about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, I don't get taxed on these anymore. Shoot, I'll take that up to $25,000. You know what I mean? And
I'll take that upgrade child credit.
exactly, man. There is so many benefits, but because of this media manipulation, man, they figure, oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and view it.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and show this. Like any real Fox, for the most part, when they show anything on this fake Jenny from the block girl, they are making fun of her. Because she, 9 out of 10, does not know what she's talking about. And it's just crazy because the triple B's is it's a great bill in the long run.
Can you look on the computer, Justin?
It's small steps
Yeah.
to a great picture.
I know it's a huge bill. It's a huge,
Yeah, I just sent it.
beautiful bill.
I just sent it to do an understandable breakdown on
Okay.
real quick so we can go through that. But do it on the computer, Justin, so you can pull it out. No, I know. That's fine. Just ask it general. You can still ask it without logging in. It'll give you 3 questions. 3 times you can ask. Go ahead.
No, I was,
Oh, okay.
I mean, I know that it's thousands of pages, right? I mean, I didn't read it. You know what I mean? But from what I understand, anybody can twist it, right? Like, let's say, for instance, I want to start a taco shop.
Okay.
And I believe my projection is that I can sell X amount of tacos in year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5.
And that's a projection.
So then I say, okay, I need to buy a taco truck. I need to buy a kitchen. I need to buy the food supplies. I need to hire somebody to do it. So on the front end, it's going to look crazy because it's like you're selling tacos for $3, but here on month 1, it has you spending $60,000.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you going to make money selling tacos? The expense is way higher than the tacos. But here's why, because this is a projection that I'm going to spend money now so I can make money in the next few years. So that way I'll be out of the red, I'll be in the black, and then I'll be in a place where those 60,000 got flipped many times over.
Well, that's why they tell you first 3 to 5 years, don't expect to make an income.
Yeah. So, I mean, is it something like that?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
and that's just, I'm just a big dummy, and I know that.
Make it bigger.
I like
It's
to
hard to
say
read.
I like to say that when I'm the smart one in the room, dude, you know there's problems.
Okay. Here's ChatGPT. So this is the question. So corporate tax cuts. What is it? The tax cut rate corporation state from slashed from 35 to 21. And people, oh my gosh, the rich. Who hires people?
The rich.
Okay. Individual tax cuts. Hold on. So it went from 39.6 to 37%. Okay, so that's to the individual. All right, keep going. Increased standard deduction. What is a standard deduction? Individuals, I don't know. I know that child tax credit. It went up
Oh, from 1,000 to 2,000
per child. Yep. Obamacare. Elimination of
Is that the one that a lot of people are worried about?
No,
No?
not the Obamacare.
Okay.
It was changes to deductions, exemptions. Go ahead. One of the things that they didn't get to pass, stay right there, Justin. One of the things that they didn't get to pass was they were talking about not taxing Social Security. That didn't pass. But what they did is they raised the ceiling level for tax deductions for senior citizens.
Oh.
So you can add allocations to your tax deductions to try to balance that out a little bit. change deductions, exemptions, business expenses, capital investments. Anything you scroll down a little bit? Things that I
Great
understand.
right there.
Oops, not so fast. Pass through business tax breaks.
The economy, that's why it matters.
Okay, reparation of foreign earnings. What is that? Companies with profits held overseas were encouraged to bring the money back to the United States, taxed at a lower rate.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Put it back, flowing in our economy.
No, that's bad. People will lose money that way.
How did it affect? What's it say? For corporate big winners were large companies would receive the lion's share of the tax cuts. For individuals, middle-class Americans received tax cuts, but the benefits were often smaller and temporary compared to corporations. For wealthy Americans, the top earners, especially those with business interests, also benefited significantly due to changes in the tax structure for high-income individuals and pass-through business. So this is kind of like the Democrat and Republican argument, right? Because Republicans are saying, no, tax the rich less so they can hire more.
Yeah.
Right? And then the Democrat is coming at it from the other end, is saying, why are you taxing the poor?
Yeah.
So it's like,
You know what it comes down to, man, is the time whenever Hillary said he doesn't pay his taxes. And he said, that makes me smart.
Yeah. I remember that.
And then he said, you want me to pay taxes? Change the tax laws.
Yeah, you put it in.
But you won't do that. You know why? Because then you and all of your friends are going to have to start paying all those taxes like I do.
yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's figuring out, let's see how we can do this. You know how he does that? He knows the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was, I did want to bring up what we
Corporate
talked about.
tax rate dropped. Big break for business.
What is the impact, Justin, on what were we talking about earlier, Tino? All the state low income.
Oh, about
benefits.
about
SNAP.
that you have to go ahead and and welfare and Medicare, Medi-Cal and all that. Stuff.
Medicare.
You have to work 80 hours. You have to
One of three.
You have to do one of the three for 80 hours a month for you to qualify
To
for
continue.
those. And that is
To continue to
If you can, it says.
yeah.
This is if you're a 32-year-old that completely healthy.
Yeah.
That's what they're talking about.
Exactly. They're
Yeah.
talking
Not
about
the old lady in a wheelchair.
No, they're not talking. It's again, there's qualifications, but let's use the base standard for somebody who has been. This is their livelihood, and this is how they're living at home and having children this way. And no one's working.
Yeah.
The anticipation is you have to work, or here's the three criterias: work 20 hours a week minimum. Go to school so you can better educate yourself, so you can go to work.
Yeah.
You're not a lifetime subscriber. And number three, volunteer 20 hours per week in a nonprofit or
So you can do any
faith-based.
one of the three.
Any one of those three to continue getting what you're getting
I see.
to help make society better.
Yeah.
But you can't be home.
Yeah.
That's the criteria.
Playing games.
Yep. You can't be home drinking. You can't be home. They did, and they also off of the welfare and the snaps. I don't know how that works or what's what, but they took away a lot of the candies and the packaged
Did they do
food.
that pass through?
I think that's on the bill.
I think that's on the bill.
You can't buy sodas. You
I
can't
bet
buy-
7-Eleven's against that.
I'm sure they are.
And this is federal, my understanding, right? The
Yeah.
big beautiful the
Not
triple B
state.
is
federal.
That's not state.
federal, right? So that means Newscomb has to follow this.
Well, the state has their own ordeal.
Yeah, but they can't ignore the federal.
They can't ignore the federal funding of what it's being allocated to. So all that time all those other moments where they would get fund and go, we'll just move it here, whatever. That's not going to fly anymore. But the state does have their own criteria because that was the pushback against all of those state funding programs.
Yeah.
That everybody was saying, Trump's taking this away. That's a state. Some of those things that people were saying that Trump was taking away, those are state programs.
Yeah.
Not federal.
Yeah, that I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just saying the triple B is
Federal.
federal, right?
Hey, bought eggs lately?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I did, and it looks really, really good.
Yeah, it does.
And you know what? I always find them.
Yeah. You know what? I liked it.
But that's the thing. And it's like, oh my gosh, you're mad that you have to eat a banana.
Yeah.
That you have to eat apples.
It expands funding to the government agencies, including immigration and custom enforcement, custom border protection, That's another thing that it does. It talks about SNAP. SNAP will be able.
Oh, snap.
Will be able to help for the nutrition. It talks about how
Better
it's going to
nutrition.
be able to get away from all of the stuff that they're allowing it to buy. You know what I'm saying? As far as like candies and sodas and chips, and you go in there and just get a little 50-cent bag of chips. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a bunch of different things.
Because the low income community, face it, you go whatever city you're at, there's so many overweight kids.
Well, I mean, part of that is it's cheaper to eat bad
Exactly.
than it is to
Absolutely.
eat good.
So why would the federal government in the past encourage that?
Yeah.
Medication
No, of course. Exactly.
that falls into pharma, and it's just
Which
like,
is weird where you have the Food and Drug Administration
Yeah.
together.
yeah.
As
Think
they
that's
say,
by
in,
accident?
as they say
Yeah.
in bed together.
I
Yeah.
know.
It
That's not
doesn't
by
make any
accident.
sense.
Yeah. So is there any more? We're already at an hour and a half.
Are we really?
Yeah.
Oh my
it's exactly an hour and a half.
Oh man! All right, cool. Shoot. Yeah, I'm
Wow.
good.
Yeah.
Triple B, man. I don't think I think this will be probably a subject throughout the rest of this year.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? As it starts to, like you said, I haven't read it. Have you read it?
No.
Yeah. So I mean,
I've just watched reviews.
that's what I
it.
depend on Vivek for. Little by little, my understanding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's good for my Theo, then 9 out of 10, it's good for us.
Yeah.
So, hey, man, I had a guy tell me years ago, wouldn't you rather your party make you money than, what did he say, or take your money? That's what he said. Would you rather the party that you're voting for, would you rather them make you money or rather take your money? What do you want? And so it's
I
always
want-
made sense to
I
me.
want my money in my hand. Let me decide.
Just like you say about the blessings, right?
Yep.
Well, I'm here. Lord will give him. I
want
want
it
my
now.
blessings.
I want it now.
Yeah, man. It's like J.G. Wentworth, bro. It's my money and I want it now. But when it comes to God, Lord, I'll take these blessings now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want a warehouse filled with blessings.
Well, guys, this is our episode of Let's Just Talk. We do this every single Tuesday. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and that way you can
Hit that thumbs up.
Yeah, hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment, share it. Any of those things. If you subscribe, leave a comment, hit like or share, helps the algorithms. And that's it, man. We just talk about all kinds of stuff. And God bless you, and pray that the Lord shine His face upon you, that you be
Yes.
blessed, that God protect you and keep you safe.
Yes.
Keep Texas in your prayers.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, guys.
All right.
Be
Peace.
blessed.